Hello again. Welcome back to Tori and Realty. My name is Tori. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about real estate. So in this episode, we're going to talk about questions to ask a brokerage. This is a question I get asked so many times. So I said, let's do a video on it and get these nailed down. So, as you're coming towards the end of the course, you're obviously going to be looking for what company you want to become a part of. So as you know, in the process of getting your actual license, you do need to be hired by a brokerage first, because the brokerage will apply to RICO on your behalf for your official license. So if you see the RICO application, part of it will say your broker needs to fill in that information. So you have to have that first. So when we are looking for a brokerage, there's certain questions you want to ask. I'm going to go over a bunch of questions that I would suggest. These are ones that I ask when I'm doing different interviews. And just in general, you want to make sure you do your research and do as many interviews as you can. Don't just do one, don't just do two, do at least 3 brokerages, okay? Just so you really know what your options are, and don't pick all in the same kind of boat or in the same area. Expand yourself, expand your horizon, and don't be afraid to try something new. So in general, I say that a lot, but in general, pretty much any brokerage is going to want you to be on their team. Why? Because you are going to be making them money. When the commission gets paid from a sale, it's not your name that's going on the paycheck from the lawyer, it's the brokerage's name. So remember, the brokerage is the agent and you are the salesperson. So you're the face of the business, but the brokerage is the real agent between the relationship with the client. So that's one reason why a lot of brokerages are going to say, yeah, we would love to have you. Oh, please come on our team. So don't let it hype you up too much. Just simmer down and just come back to reality. But make sure you do your research so that you can be just as excited as they are. So depending on when I decide to release this one of my most recent videos was how to pre-prepare for brokerage videos. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you pause this video, open up the new screen, go watch that for 6 minutes and come back. Got it? So once you've pre-prepared yourself and you have the right mindset, there's going to be a lot of questions that you're going to want to ask the brokerage just to make sure that you are going to be a good fit for them, and that more importantly, they will be a good fit for you. You're going to want to know what their dynamics are like, how are they going to benefit you, what tools and resources do they have, any exclusive, what's that word? Exclusive, when you have something over someone else, easement, no, any exclusive, anything that they have exclusive that another brokerage doesn't have, you want to know that. Like what makes them stand out, okay? What their platform is, what their goals are, and in the industry, and how you can align yourself with that. So this will depend on you, because it'll depend on what you want to accomplish as a realtor and how you want to run your business. So you want to take some self-reflection time and figure that out first, so that you know what your puzzle piece looks like and what the other puzzle piece will look like for everything to fit together. Okay, so first off, I can't guarantee, but I'm like 90% sure this is always going to be the first question. It's, tell me about yourself. So you want to have just a quick summary, not of your whole life story, not of your most dramatic experience, your highest accomplishment. You just want to have a 30 to 60 second description of who you are, what stands out about you, and how you came into real estate. And maybe, so yeah, you can write it out, know what you're gonna say, don't script it, just make it natural. be genuine, and don't make it too long. They're not here to know your whole life story. You guys can become best friends on another day. During your interview, that's not the time. Okay, so after they ask you that question, the next question I would ask is, tell me about yourself. So whoever you're speaking to, whether it's a recruiter for the company, whether it's another salesperson, whether it's a broker, the broker of record maybe, or maybe an admin person, whoever you're speaking to, you're gonna wanna know just a little bit about themselves, and not mainly about themselves, but how they came to work for this company. So you're gonna wanna know what are the things that stood out to them about this company and why they chose this company over another company. There's some people who stay with the company for their whole real estate career. There's some people that go brokerage hopping from one to another and then find a place to land. Whatever the case, this scenario or case is, you just want to get a little bit of background about them and know that about them. So another question I would ask is, what are the dynamics like at your brokerage? So with this question, you want to kind of just get a feel for what the atmosphere is at their brokerage. Some people will say, oh, we are a very modern driven brokerage. We're top of the line technology, whatever after that. Or some people will say, you know what, we're a very invested brokerage. We have this area that we have this niche area that we specialize in, and we primarily focus on that, but we also do business other places. Or they're an investment brokerage or a new construction brokerage. There's lots of different answers, but the point is you just want to get a feel for what kind of dynamics they have and what the atmosphere is like. You don't have to dive too deep into these questions. Just ask the question and let them give an answer. And you can ask one or two more to clarify, but don't worry about it too much. Another question I like to ask is, how many realtors are at their location? So sometimes a brokerage is a family-owned brokerage where there's maybe, 10 to 20 people there, and it's a smaller kind of brokerage, more intimate, better relationships. You really know everybody in the company kind of thing. Some brokerages are more bigger scale. Some of them have franchises where they have a bunch of locations. Like, I'm not gonna mention any names, but there's gonna be like some brokerages that are just franchised and just everywhere. So you just wanna know wherever you're gonna be working, whatever the location is, what is the dynamics like? Is it a big team where there's gonna be a bunch of team meetings, or is it a smaller brokerage where you come and go? Just to have that understanding. And also to get a good idea regarding locations, if they have multiple locations, do you have to go to multiple locations? Or if I live in Hamilton, but my brokerage is in Vaughan, do they have different locations that can facilitate me here? Or do I need to travel to the brokerage each time for a certain task or meetings or things like that? One question that I really like to ask is, what assistance do they have for a new realtor starting off? So you want to know what kind of investment they're ready to put into you. So if you're reaching out to them, they may not know much about you, so they may be a little bit hesitant, but it's good to have kind of an idea of what you think you need to get started. So if you're going solo and you're gonna have a lot of upfront costs, marketing, lock boxes, paperwork, advertisement, all these kind of things, you want to know if there's any assistance that they provide, or maybe they have a person that does this, or they have a printer that you can use, or they have supplies on hand that you can use, or they help you with designing a logo or your for sale sign. You just want to know, starting up, what are the things that they are prepared to invest into their people, and what are the things that you need to be prepared to invest in yourself. Another question you want to ask is, are leads provided? So as a realtor, as if I'm licensed. As a realtor, you live off of leads, whether it's your own leads that you've developed in your sphere, or if it's leads from friends of friends or family of family, or leads from your work environment or leads that you purchase, whatever it may be, well, they're not going to provide you family leads. But the point is, you want to know if they provide any leads, whether there's a cost for it, or if they provide it willingly and they're just nice about it, or you just want to know what's their flow and how do they deal with stuff at that company. So that's a good question to ask and be aware of. Or sometimes, because if you go independent, usually leads aren't provided, but if you do join a team, leads better be provided. Another question you want to ask is, what is the training like, or what training is available? So especially starting off new, this is going to be a big thing for you. You want to know if there's going to be someone there to mentor you and guide you through at least your first few transactions so that you can get to know the ropes. But even beyond your initial startup, you want to know if there's any ongoing training available as you become more seasoned, to keep you either up to date with statistics or the market, or training to keep you up to date with legislation, or training with up to date, I don't know, new construction, or how to do sale, whatever it may be. You just want to know what kind of ongoing training do they have, and if that is available to you as an employee of that, or as a contractor of that company, or if it's something that you need to pay for out of pocket. Marketing. You want to know if they provide any assistance with marketing. What I'm finding is normally with independent, not so much, but they may have like a company website where all of your active listings will be posted on, or they may have a company Instagram account where your listings are all posted. Obviously, as a realtor, you're going to be doing your own marketing, but you just want to know what other avenues do they have available for you by just being an employee. Another question you might want to ask is a bit more technical, but what is their CRM like? So with me, I would say I'm pretty tech savvy. I'm very organized. So I love when my systems all work together. That's why I love Apple. But you want to know what their CRM system's like, if it is something that's maybe just on a website, or if it's an application you have to download, or if bonus, they have an app where you can access it on your phone. You want to know the customer client information that you're putting into the system. Does it automatically do some kind of messaging to those people, or does it give you reminders of when to contact them, or what information it tracks? Some of them are connected with softwares with the open houses or scheduling showings and appointments. There's a whole slew of different options available, but you just want to know, does this brokerage have a CRM that they work with? So if you become an employee, do you get access to that as being an employee, or do you have to pay extra for it, or are you responsible to find your own CRM? And CRM is customer relations manager. Now on to the money questions. So the first money question I would ask is, what are the monthly fees? So with different brokerages, there's obviously different amounts, but there's also different things they can charge. So there can be monthly fees, which is something you pay regardless of making sales. There can be desk fees, which can sometimes be separate from monthly fees, which is for having a desk at a brokerage. There could be tech fees, there could be database fees like CRMs, there could be printing fees. Normally they sum it all up into one, but I'm just saying, make sure you ask, because you don't want to be hired by a company and then realize you have this ongoing fee that you have to commit to. And then also ask, like, what is their schedule for desk fees or such? Because some brokerages charge a monthly desk fee, some brokerages charge a quarterly desk fee. So instead of it being monthly, they charge it every 3 months. Some brokerages will waive the desk fees or whatever fees for you for the first couple months while you're getting started. So make sure you ask. But Some brokerages don't even have desk fees, like EXP. There's no desk fee. They do have a monthly fee, but they don't have any bricks or mortar, so they don't have any physical location or things like that. So make sure you look outside the box, make sure you ask questions, and figure out all the financial commitments you would have as being a part of this particular company. Now, the big money question, commission. Okay, so you're gonna wanna ask, what is the commission split? This can be a lot of things. It will be different if you're solo or you're on a team environment. If you don't know what that is, just YouTube it. I'm gonna make a video on it, but I don't know when. But in general, being independent is running your own real estate business, and being on a team is working under a team leader and having a second commission cut. So in general, you just want to know what is their split. And also know whatever split they give you, it's up for negotiation. Remember, you are becoming a realtor. You are a negotiator. Make sure you negotiate. So whatever commission they give you, if you think it's reasonable, awesome. Usually how they work is brokerages that have higher monthly fees or desk fees will have a higher rate of commission. So they may have a desk fee of $500 a month, but the commission split is 95.5, or I'm just making that up. Or they may have desk fees of $100 a month, but their commission split is 70-30. So just ask the question, know how they run their business, and if you don't like the numbers, ask for something else. They may not say yes, depending on what you're bringing to the table, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So ask in a confident way. Don't say, do you think you can give me extra 20% commission or whatever it may be? Say, you know what, that sounds, thank you for sharing that with me. This is what I'm bringing to the table. I was looking for a brokerage that would do this commission split. Is this something that you guys could commit to? Something like that. Another question I like to ask is, what's the average amount of transactions that their salespeople do? This is very important. So you want to know what volume of business this brokerage is doing typically. So you want to know, maybe they have a lot of new people on their team, so the transactions aren't as much. Maybe they have a bunch of seasoned people, so they're just running through transactions. Maybe there's a lot of real estate investors which do a lot of transactions. Maybe their brokerage is focused on new construction, which is a lot less, but a whole different dynamic. So just ask the questions. It'll show that you're educated and you really want to be detailed about making a decision. And it also give you a good idea of what you can hopefully look forward to by working at that company. And in speaking to different companies and doing the different numbers, it'll be good to compare all these numbers and all these questions, answers to these questions. Very important. Ask, what is the length of the contract? Time length, time commitment. You want to know, if you're signing a contract with this brokerage, how long are you tied down with them? You want to know, some brokerages don't have one, maybe. Some brokerages it's 6 months, some is 1 year, some is 2 years, some is 1.5 years. It all depends. So you just want to know that ahead of time, so that, God forbid, if something happens with that brokerage or they're not living up to their expectations, or you're just not getting much out of it, you want to know what is your available time frame to budget for looking for other options or whatever the case may be. And then the last question I would ask is just about the broker of record and how involved they are with sales. So there's a lot of broker of records that don't sell anymore. They are just there to solely focus on the team and compliance and keeping everybody in line. There's some broker of records who are doing all of the responsibility of that, plus they're also doing their own sales. So I've spoken to a few brokerages who really emphasize that their broker of record doesn't do any sales. They just solely focus on their people, and they're very prideful of that in a good way. So I would say that's a good question to ask, and just be aware of that kind of dynamics with the business. Okay, so that's all I got. Those are just some questions, some ideas that you can ask brokerages when you're doing interviews. The conversation you want to make as natural as possible. You want to have the questions written down so you have easy points to refer back to, but you don't want to say, oh, sorry, can you hold on one second? I have to ask you question number 17 on my list. Like, just be natural, be yourself, let your personality shine, and you should be able to have a good conversation. There's no specified time length. It can be whatever is needed. It can sometimes be a two-parter. The very first one I interviewed was a two-parter. So it depends on how they float their boat. But yeah, in general, good luck, and I wish you all the best. If you have any ideas of good questions you'd like to ask, please comment below so I can know, and so that other people can have some good sources as well. So thank you for watching Tori and Realty, and I will see you in the next video.